my name is Lin Qian. I will going to present the abstract of our project. This project selected parse code modulation, which is PCM, as a demonstration for vocational school students, giving students the opportunity to learn one of the most advanced techniques in telecommunication systems. We will use the multi-sim software to simulate some of the variables that operate it, to understand the uses, benefits, and drawbacks of this technique.
Hi, my name is Amirul Izzat. So firstly, introduction postcode modulation. Postcode modulation is analog digital signal representation that sample the amplitude of analog signal at fixed time intervals. Using PCM, it is possible to digitize all forms of analog data. So the advantages of PCM that it is robust against noise and interference, provide secure data transmission, and it's easy to add or drop channel. And uh, the disadvantage of PCM is overload appear when modulation signal changes between sampling by amount greater then the size of the step, a larger bandwidth is required for transmission, and the difference between between original analog signal and translated digital signal is called quantized error.
Thank you to the previous presenter. My name is Nurul Afifa binti Alias, and now I will continue my presentation with the methodology. So I will explain for the theoretical concept. The modulation is the process of changing one or more characteristics of a carrier signal in response to the message signal's instantaneous values. The message signal is the signal that stands for the communication, while the carrier signal is the high-frequency signal with no data that is utilized for long-distance transmission. Pulse code modulation (PCM) is the digital modulation technology employed in all of them. And lastly, to convert analog information into a binary sequence of ones and zeros, a signal is pulse code modulated, so PCM's output will look like a binary sequence. So at the right side, there is an example of PCM output in relation to instantaneous sine wave value. For the input PCM, it will generate sine wave, while for the output PCM, it will generate a square wave. Next, I will explain for the pulse code modulation basic element. The sampling, quantizing, and encoding are conducted in the analog to digital converter component of a pulse code modulator circuit transmitter section. Prior to sampling, the message signal is passed through a low pass filter to prevent aliasing. The receiver section's main function are signal regeneration, decoding and reconstruction of the quantized pulse stream. And lastly, the demodulation occurs at the receiver end of the pulse code circuit, and the signal is transformed into pulse with the same quantum levels. So this is the block diagram of pulse code modulation, which divides the essential elements of both the transmitter and receiver section. So this is the transmitter section, and the PCM output given to the channel, which is the regenerative repeater, and the channel output will go to the receiver section. So this is the transmitter section, and this is the receiver section. I will present for the PCM system block diagram that I have mentioned just now. There are the system of pulse code modulation, which are low pass filter, LPF, sampler, quantizer, encoder, regenerative repeater, decoder, and reconstruction filter. So I will explain for this block diagram one by one. And now we will start for the low pass filter. Low pass filter is used to remove the high frequency components from an analog signal's input. Sampler is the technique that allows to collect sample data and instantaneous message signal value to reconstruct the original signal. It also is the process of discretizing an analog signal. And for the quantizer, quantizer is performed by analog to digital converters which convert an analog signal into a series of digital values. Encoder is used to convert an analog signal to digital signal, and it also helps to reduce bandwidth consumption. For the regenerative repeater, it includes in the channel's output to compensate for signal loss, reboot the signal and boost its power. And for the decoder, by decoding
So, for example, I will explain for simulation. So this is our coding. Um, so this is for plot analog signal, and it's a simple form. We using Vmax equal 8. Now for this, for construct of signal, and this is for show analog signal. So after that, this is a quantization process. Um, this is for the signal of signs, and this one is different between quantization level, which is step size equal Vmax minus Vmin per L. Uh, and for L, for your information, is 2 uh, power n is input for when we key uh, when enter for bit for PCM system. Okay, later I will show you how to we construct. Okay, so um, this is for quantization process, and this is for quantization process. Okay, after that, this is for transmitter signal. Okay, um, okay, and lastly, this is for demodulation of PCM signal. Okay, which is uh, this is for binary to decimal conversion, with Q equals step size multiply index for convert into voltage value, and Q equal Q plus V min plus step size per 2. Okay, for above step, given a DC shifter version of each signal, thus it is necessary to bring it to zero level. Okay, so this this one for demulator signal. So I will show you how to how to show the result. Okay. Wait. So first I put 10 bit. After that, I put for inter for sampling. I put 10. So I enter. Okay. Okay. So from this coding, show this figure. This is how to PCM working. This is analog signal and this is transistor signal, which is this is a digital signal. This is sample signal, quantized signal, and this is transmitter signal, and last demulator signal. Okay. Um, okay. Lastly, I will explain to demulator signal. Demulation signal is process by which message signal is instructed from the modulator's wave PCM block diagram. So this is a demulation block diagram for demulation. Uh, that is all for me. Explanation. I will pass to my friend to explanation.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Afiq. So I will continue this presentation, which my part. So my part is only conclusion. Before that, I will explain one more again about the pulse code modulation. In this project that we have done, pulse code modulation is contracts and may demonstrate the significant new modulation approach for multi-channel telephony has been involved, which entails the conversion of speech wave into the code bus. Thus, modulation is the process of uttering one or more properties of a periodic waveform known as a carrier signal, with respect to the modulation signal, which contains information to be transmitted. So, the conclusion of our project is although we had some problems developing the circuit, which the mutual help of the team members, we successfully developed a pulse code modulation, or we call it PCM, using multisim. The project we designed was a successful, and we got all the tasks that we need to do for this pulse code modulation, and we were able to get the output as well as other function guidance for the project guide. So I think that's all for our project presentation. Thank you.